The nitrogen cycle. Have you ever noticed that some of the lawns in your neighborhood are a dull, yellowish-green color while others are a rich, dark, green color? The color of lawn grasses is determined mainly by how much nitrogen is present. The dull, yellowish, green lawn is probably lacking nitrogen. Even though nearly 79% of the atmosphere is nitrogen gas, N2, plants and other organisms cannot use it directly to make chemicals that are essential to life. Instead, they must get their nitrogen from chemicals called nitrates. Like carbon, nitrogen is cycled through ecosystems in various forms. This is called a nitrogen cycle, a very complex cycle that is shown in simplified form in Figure L. Nitrogen fixation. The conversion of nitrogen into nitrates occurs in a process called nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation occurs in two main ways. The energy from lightning causes nitrogen gas to combine with the oxygen in the air, producing a small amount of nitrates. Nitrates produced this way dissolve in rain or surface water, enter the soil, and are then absorbed by plants through their roots. The plants then use the nitrates to make proteins and DNA. When plants are eaten by animals, the animal breaks down the plant proteins into smaller chemicals to make the proteins it needs. Some bacteria, called nitrogen-fixing bacteria, are able to convert nitrogen into nitrates. These bacteria provide the vast majority of nitrates found in the ecosystem. They are found mostly in soil, but they can also be found in small lumps called nodules on the roots of legumes such as clover, peas, and alfalfa. The bacteria in the nodules of legumes depend on the plant for a supply of sugar, which the plant produces. In return, the bacteria supply the plant with a supply of nitrates and produce much more nitrates than are needed. The excess nitrates move into the soil and are available for other plants that do not have the nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Denitrification. The opposite process of nitrogen fixation is denitrification. Denitrifying bacteria can break down nitrates into nitrites, and then nitrites into nitrogen gas. The nitrogen gas is released back into the atmosphere. This completes the nitrogen cycle and ensures a balance among soil nitrates, nitrites, and atmospheric nitrogen. Over time, lawns may lose their bright green color. This is because of the increase in denitrifying bacteria, which can grow in the absence of oxygen, which reduce the amount of nitrates available to the grass. The denitrifying process also speeds up when the soil is very acidic. Decomposers in the nitrogen cycle. Decomposers play a critical role in the nitrogen cycle. As organisms produce wastes and eventually die, the decomposers break down the nitrogen-containing chemicals into simpler chemicals. Other bacteria then convert these simple chemicals into nitrites, and still others convert the nitrites into nitrates. Farmers who use manure as fertilizer are taking advantage of the nitrogen cycle by putting a supply of nitrates back into the soil.